Good afternoon. Welcome back into Midday in Kansas. Wrapping up the show today with our good friend Carlson with Carlson Financial. Good afternoon, Carl.
Hello, Chris. How are you?
Good, thanks. Hey, let's talk about those interest rates. A lot of news been around them as far as how they've been hitting record lows. Of course, refinancing can save a lot of people money. Who would be best off to refinance or at least look into it right now, Carl?
So we've talked a little bit about homeowners and refinancing their homes, and that's generally a really good idea if you meet a couple of criteria. One is if you plan on staying in the home for 3 years or more, and if you can reduce your interest rate by 1% or more, then as a homeowner, refinancing is a great idea. But what about business owners and farmers? What should they be doing during these historic low rates? Yeah, people have been paying 6, 7, 8% on these loans, and now here's this opportunity. Wow, we could be at 2.5%. But one of the big differences is some of those higher loans at the 6, 7, 8% are oftentimes equipment loans or short-term line of credits, and they're secured by short-term assets like your equipment. So let's say maybe that's only going to last 6 or 7 years before you need to trade it in for a newer model. So you have to be careful when you're looking at interest rates, long-term versus short-term, and how do I refinance all of this to get the best deal for me?
Like people borrow against their houses all the time. How much can you borrow against farmland?
Yeah, on a home, you can actually borrow all the way up to maybe only 3% down, but not on farmland. Generally, you're going to have about 25% down, so you can borrow up to 75%. Currently, though, if you have a lot of equity in that land, because land's gone up in value, then you can go and you can get some cash out refinance, and you can pay off those shorter term loans like the equipment loans and the line of credits and move that from a 6, 7, 8% interest rate down to as low as possibly 2.5%, maybe 3%. And that would be a great deal. Where you have to be careful is now that it's a long-term loan over 40 years, that equipment is not going to last that long. So you need to make sure when you shift to the long-term loan, get a better deal, lower rate, long-term fixed, that's great. But you need to continue to pay on that loan as if it were whatever the short-term portion is, keep paying it like it's a short-term loan. But don't pay it on the loan. Actually take that money. You have to be disciplined. Take that money and set it aside in another account.